tickle your mind. Lizzie Collier. You are all welcome to this program, Vivid View with Eheliz. Many thanks to God Almighty. Vivid View, say and do it. A situation where a country loses its best workers, which ordinarily will have contributed immensely to her economic development, is truly, truly worrisome. The topic for today's discussion is brain drain and its precarious effects. We'll run out for a short break, and when we come back, the guests will be introduced. Do stay with us. Vivid View, say and do it. Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, the topic has been introduced, and it is brain drain and its precarious effects. With me in the studio today to handle this topic is a lecturer and a public analyst. Let's make welcome Mr. Kani Ezenwa.
Vivid View,
say and do it. Before discussion proper, please follow us on our social media handles as displayed on the screen. Mr. Ezenwa, you're welcome again.
thank you.
Without much delay, let's just go straight to the topic for today. So what's your perspective on this subject matter? That is brain drain and its precarious effects. Before we go to the main questions.
Okay, when you say brain drain, you are looking at two nomenclatures there. The number one is brain, and then a drain. Like we know, brain is something that has naturally been endowed with us. God has given us brain to reason, to think out with ideas. And then when you talk about drain, you're talking about exhaustion, you're talking about wastage, you're talking about not utilizing it effectively in the manner in which the God Almighty has intended it. So it's actually a contemporary challenge, a contemporary problem for which we all need an immediate answer.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Now, what are the predominant causes of brain drain?
The predominant cause of brain drain in Nigeria is the lack of satisfaction. You have people who are qualified in different fields and in different areas, but they hardly find fulfillment, career fulfillment in the home economy. So the ultimate move is to seek greener pastures elsewhere.
Can you imagine?
That's just the major cause. We have what we call career migration. People can move with their careers and occupations from one geopolitical area to another. But that's in a normal circumstance. The situation we have at hand is people being propelled or forced to live with their qualifications because they can't find fulfillment at home. It's actually a sad commentary. That's just the truth. A
majority of them are brilliant and intelligent people that will have contributed so much here.
Very, 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 very. Just last week, I was discussing with a student of the Nigerian Institute of Journalism. If things had worked the way he wished, he would have been overseas by now because he had toiled and suffered before he came back to school anyway. And since there was no fulfillment, he decided to try his stars elsewhere. Yes. Incidentally, it didn't work out and he had to come back. So those are some of the issues. When people don't find fulfillment in the home economy, no matter what the preaching is, no matter what the motivation from the side of the government is, they tend to want to migrate overseas.
The point you just make now, I think there are many people that has equally affected. I've equally had so many people that travel out for greener pasture thinking that they will do it better outside. And they ended up now wasting their time and they will just come back home. But these are the effects of this brain drain. When they are not being recognized, when there's no job opportunity in their land, they will think that going elsewhere will be the best. But sometimes it works, sometimes it does not really work. Exactly. Some of them would, especially like Canada is raining now. You know, people relocating to Canada with their families and all that. But I also have some who have just returned to that, nothing. They wasted their time, almost 2 years, nothing at all. So it's not that there's a tree in Canada that just go and pluck money. No. But we know the causes why people are running. But in my own, as a Eheliz, I would still advise to let us all remain here and fight our problem by ourselves. And I know that God will give us victory. Then we'll take a break now. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
Welcome back. We're still discussing brain drain and its precarious effects. Then should brain drain on human capital flight be encouraged? brain drain or human capital flight, should it be encouraged?
No kind of brain drain should actually be encouraged. That's what I believe. Because if you're born or a resident in a country, you're supposed to contribute to the socio-economic development of that country. But if you're coerced to move, that means that the country will be losing. Some other people that you're supposed to impact will also be losing. So it's something that should not be encouraged, both from the side of government and then from the side of other stakeholders in any typical society.
But I also heard a man in one of these television discussing that everybody has the right, that they have right to locate, to live anywhere they want to live. When some people, something like that came out, some people are saying, why the need of running away? Why are you, they use the word running away from your country. Why not remain here and let's fight a problem together and see how we can solve it? And he said that, that man said that it's against their human right. They have a right to move here and there. How do you see that?
I believe that people have the fundamental human right to go anywhere they want to go. They have that right because it is survival first and foremost. Now, in a situation where the government, now we are not trying to criticize government unduly, but we are trying to point out some things that are salient in this society. There are some basics that a country or a community should have that without it, people can't actually advance their causes. They can't even contribute meaningfully to national development.
Exactly.
If you look at something like power, it's basic. You look at roads, the road infrastructure is basic. You look at safety, they are all basic necessities. Now, if people don't have this, the tendency to move is almost there. There is no preaching. Like I said, there's hardly nothing that you can do to dissuade such people because people have to survive. So, but when you don't have it, you are just encouraging people to be on the move. That's the way I look at it. It's not a question of coercing, but people have to survive. And those things that make survival necessary have to be in place for people to stay and contribute to development.
What is government position in tackling this now?
Well, since I'm not government, I don't know whether I'm in a position to speak with government, but we can pick the minds of government. From time to time, the tendency of government is to moralize to people, is to preach. You know, is to use all those slogans to urge people to be patriotic, to be supportive, and all that and all that. But I don't think that has actually solved the problem. That is like begging the question. Because when you still preach to people, and like we said, they can't have a means of survival, that preaching will not endure. It will be for a while, and then they will begin to look for ways of escape. I know that we used to have somebody very, very active in the diaspora, formerly a journalist who also went into the house, Mrs. Abike Dabiri, with his diaspora ministry and commission. She did quite a lot to dissuade people from denigrating the local environment. But I don't know how much that has actually tackled the problem. You still find people leaving the country or seeking to leave the country in droves because they are not satisfied. So to a large extent, the problem is still very, very prevalent with us. And to that extent, one wouldn't say that the government has done so much. Yes,
sufficiently enough, if there's anything like that. Yes. Yeah, because that is the main reason for me too. If those basic, amenities or infrastructure they're supposed to provide have not been provided, there's not enough light, electricity in Nigeria is still epileptic, there is no good medical facility, and all those stuff, good roads for us to move from one place to the other, even the farmers be able to sell their goods and all that. If all those things are not really there, there's no job, creation. Unemployment is all over the place. So you cannot stop one from moving from one place to another thinking. Just that all may not be successful, like I said earlier. Some of them that actually moved to thinking that they will do better, the other side did not eventually do better. Some were lucky enough to have something doing. So that's the thing. And I think with this, we'll call for our government to look at this critically, to see what they can do, provide these basic amenities and infrastructures so that our people will stop these migrations, so to say. I think that's the essence of this program today. We'll take a break now. Come back, enter the session for question and answer. Vivid view.
Say and do it.
My name is Lillian Michael. Thanks for this wonderful topic. My question is, what is the impact and effect of brain drain on a nation?
Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Richard. My question goes thus. What can government do to improve the facility and infrastructure in our country so our people don't relocate?
Welcome back. The question has already been asked by the audience. Direct them to our guest for his response. Please.
Okay, in terms of impact and the effect, the number one thing there is that a lot of the valuable hands that the nation could have used to develop its resources and the environment are lost to overseas countries because those people are leaving. And when they are leaving, they are taking their skills with them, they are taking their competencies with them. And that is the very, very huge loss. Okay, also on the same line, you discover that when Nigerians live in that manner and style, the host countries tend to be aggressive sometimes. Some of them feel that Nigerians have come to take over their jobs. Yes, because truly Nigerians are ingenious when it comes to the brain. So those things that they don't have opportunity to do here, because of very viable environments out there, they can do them. And before you know it, they begin to attract envy. Some of them get frustrated, some of them also even get killed. Then there's another dimension to it is that even the image of the country is also at stake. Because sometimes you can't be too sure the conduct and the character of some of those Nigerians who leave. If they find themselves in frustrating situations, sometimes they can fight back. And that fighting back will result to negativity. So there is a whole lot that comes with brain drain.